El otro es curso 5 actividades de clase. So currently what I want Form 5 to improve is their oral skills. And a really good way for them to do that is by recording and listening to themselves. And I wanted them to record it so that they would have a digital object at the end of the class that they could save and listen to again when they're preparing for their orals in 6th year.
You can hear yourself back, so you can find out where you're making mistakes and what you're mispronouncing, and then you can get your teacher to listen to it, so then she can show you as well rather than just trying to learn it in the class.
It's still not feasible to have 18 people recording at the same time. So while I do have each of them working on that, I also have other activities that they can do at the same time so that we don't have a bun fight in a corner when I'm trying to work with someone who's recording. On the blog post, there's a list of activities. 1 and 2, I want you to do. The others are, you can choose from them. Hay battleships, hay quien quiere ser millonario, hay flashcards, hay un montón de diferentes actividades. There was a very traditional style introductory activity where there was a page with a lot of information and then a video. There was also a very useful flashcard activity, so there were questions and adjectives that you looked through and then you could test yourself by listening to them and trying to type them in. And then there were also games such as battleships to practice the difference between the two verbs to be in Spanish and to practice between two tenses that we've been studying. And there were different games like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and a matching game and spelling games. The Snakes and Ladders one was actually one I came across quite recently, and it's a traditional snakes and ladder board, but before you can throw your dice, you have to answer a question correctly. And the questions are all on the topic that you choose.
Yeah, they're fun to do, and then but you also sort of learn the things because you have to read all the definitions of. So you do that stuff.
So I thought it was pretty good because if you keep getting it wrong, then you can just start again and you can learn from your mistakes the second time around.
Voki is something which is where you can create an online animated character, and you can choose whether you wanted to have like a smiley face or you want to have Bill Clinton or anything in between. And the students get to spend some time selecting the different characteristics of the Voki, and then they have a choice of either recording their own voice, they can phone it in, or they can type in their text. But you can also choose to have a Spanish speaker reading it, which has huge benefits as well if they're trying to learn the correct pronunciation. Well, we're trying to create students who know how to learn, and the only way to learn is by making mistakes. So if you're teaching students to pick up on their own mistakes, they can assess themselves and move forward. And it means that you give them the tools in the classroom, they practice in the classroom, and they can go home and really work at it. And I think that's vital for language learning.